Hi, we're going to go through a feature overview of release 1.1.9. Let's take a quick look at what's in this release. It's a major release for Golden Copy. Real-time active files. This is the ability to see what each node is working on. So let's take a look at what that would look like. So if you come into the GUI, now I don't have any active jobs at the moment, but what you'll see is active running jobs, active copies. This is where you'd see the name of the file, the size of the file, and the node that's actively working on that file. And that's a real-time view, and it gives you an idea of what work is being performed. Errors. So if we come back in here, if there's errors on jobs, so there's jobs history, so you can see if there's a failure. And if I scroll down to the next section, you'll be able to get the exact errors of a folder that had any copy errors that's now in the GUI. It makes it much easier. Clone folders. So cloning a folder definition allows for the ability to click the clone button. You enter a new path, same cluster, pick a different bucket if you want, and click clone. Quickly and easily create a new configuration. You can then edit that and edit any of the advanced parameters. Job pause and resume. So it's not in the GUI yet, but you'll be able to see it in the GUI for any folder that is paused. You'll see here folder status is active. I'm able to use the command line interface and switch that to paused. So if you have a long-running job that you want to stop and then resume later, you can do that. And here we'll just take a quick look at some of the advanced features that you can configure in the GUI now. So that's the same with the job engine, pause and resume. Stats. So now when a large file or a multi-part file is being copied, each of the individual parts that succeeds will now count towards the stats. It used to require the whole file to upload. Now, as parts of a file are uploaded, the real-time stats will now reflect that. Import and export configuration. There's a CLI command that exports your clusters, your licenses, your passwords for your clusters, all your folder definitions, and then you can import that. It's a quick and easy way to back up the configuration. We'll be expanding this in future releases and adding more functionality and backing up more of the configuration. Factory reset. This is a normal operation. We can now reset and retain the clusters and folder definitions. So that's also a new feature. Tree walking. This is the tree walking of the cluster. We now have the ability to detect errors during the tree walk and log all of those errors. And we can even retry failed parts of the tree walk. So if there's an error with the API command, we can now trap what failed and store that and rerun it later on and reattempt any failed portion of the tree walk. So major enhancements in this area. System monitoring. So we can go back to the GUI for this. That's this icon here. So we've had this for a while, but what we've added to it beyond container and memory and so on is down here at the bottom, the Ethernet 0 interface of each of the Golden Copy nodes. I only have one active. We're able to now track the RX and the TX bandwidth per node. So you can see the bandwidth leaving the node in megabytes. That's a big B, not bits per second. So now you can see which nodes are handling most of the load. If there's lots of small files, you'll see a lower bandwidth. If there's lots of large files, you'll see various nodes. It helps in troubleshooting, and now it's a near real-time capability. It's not totally real-time, but now you can see the bandwidth from here during a copy. Come back here. And it didn't make it into the final build, but we'll be doing a dot release carrier grade upgrade. With backup software or orchestration software, you want to be able to upgrade without a maintenance window. And so now you'll be able to upgrade, and the copy jobs will continue to run during the upgrade. So it does a rolling upgrade and allows functionality to continue throughout the entire upgrade. So this is a significant capability to be able to run upgrades by simply just running the .run file, and it will take down the right Docker containers and do a complete rolling upgrade and allow the copy to continue during the upgrade process. So that's a quick overview of what's new. I'll do a quick preview here of a new product that's coming soon, Smart Archiver. And this is the ability to let end users do end user archiving jobs and eventually policy-based archiving jobs. But if you see here, I'm logged in and I can browse through the file system on the left, and any folders that are configured by the administrator will have this little up arrow. That means the administrator has configured end user archive on that folder. And here I've got 2 folders, and I can simply push the button and submit an archive job. And that's it. That data is gone. It gets moved out of the file system into a staging area and gets copied up into the configured bucket by the administrator. And that's what we see over here on the right, is that within this IFS projects folder, some data has been archived already, and you'll see there's a down arrow. Now, right now, it's only folders, but we will be adding individual file capability here as well. And if I wanted this data back, I simply submit a recall job and I click submit, and I'll get the data back. The final product will have an email interface. It'll actually email the end user when the data has been restored. And so this is the Smart Archiver product. It'll archive to any targets. It'll also support tiers within the cloud providers. So this will be a beta very soon. If I click here, Cloud Browser's also been enhanced. It supports version history. It shows me all of my folders, and then I can simply filter out any of the targets that I don't want to see in my list. So of course, this is the view for administrators. So let's take a look at what end users see. So we've now introduced the concept of end user self-serve recall. So if I log in as a user, I'll be able to go to the cloud browser, browse through the folders, and again, press the button, recall the data. So pretty simple, pretty easy for end users. This is available, and it's based on SMB share security, not ACLs, but SMB share and AD groups. So a user could log in, they'd only see the file system that they're allowed to naturally see through their permissions, and they can see the data and browse what's already been copied to the cloud and then recall it on their own. You'll see version histories present. We will be allowing version-based recall as well. Not in the current version, but that allows you to pick a particular version of a file and recall a specific version. And that'll be on a per file or a per folder basis. So lots of enhancements coming for administrators and for individual users.